At a certain point in its life, your pet will need the attention of a veterinarian. Just as humans will need a physician. The big difference, of course, is that your pet cannot tell the doctor what hurts or where. But no longer. A technology, termed miraculous by some who have experienced it, can literally probe the cellular structure of your pet, diagnose the problem, and electromagnetically begin treating it without surgery or drugs. Pets given us as helpless cases have experienced rejuvenation within just a few treatments. The basis of this approved therapy for pets is the electromagnetic field that every living being generates. Using electromagnetic resonance with foundations in quantum theory, the system filter identifies unhealthy pathogens, allergens, viruses, and abnormal cellular patterns and uses positive frequencies in the patient's system to treat these problems. And there's no pain or harmful side effects common with standard treatment. One of the pioneers of this therapy in the U.S. is Dr. Don Hamerson of Greeley, Colorado. For 30 years, Dr. Hamerson built up his veterinarian practice, starting in a small stucco building behind his house in Evans, Colorado.
Over the years, I was on call at all hours of the day and night for my patients. I experienced about every imaginable condition. I was on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I saw a variety of conditions, and quite often I was wondering what was the underlying cause of these. In conventional medicine, a lot of times we're treating the symptoms and not able to get at the underlying cause.
As Dr. Hamerson's practice grew in size and renown, the capstone of his career came with the building of the Mountain Vista Veterinary Center in Greeley, Colorado. The facility is one of the most advanced veterinarian clinics in the U.S., built with his son, Don Robert. Built in 2006, he attended an international medical conference in San Francisco. It was there that he discovered the Bicom 2000 system that changed his life as it has affected the animals he now treats with it.
Moo was having a lot of trouble just continually scratching and itching, and it was particularly bad during the winter months when the furnace was on, and would ease often during the summer. And she had been taking steroids, prednisolone, and as Dr. Hamerson and I talked about that, it just wasn't good for long term because Moo's only about 4 or 5 years old.
Yes.
And
we also tried blood testing to be desensitized through blood tests with not much success.
Right.
Which is quite often the way it is. So when this new technology came along, I thought of Moo right away, and Darlene was interested, so we went ahead and Moo was one of my first patients.
Right.
And we were able to reverse that, and Moo doesn't have to be on cortisone anymore.
Right.
Because cells communicate through electromagnetic signals, Bicom 2000 identifies disturbances in cell patterns that bacteria, toxins, parasites, and allergen may cause. As the problems are identified, data is run against a battery of specific tests and a treatment regimen is prescribed. To treat specific conditions, the system sends electromagnetic frequencies and biofeedback information to the animal through modulation therapy mats, stimulating healing. Bicom 2000 therapy has over 27 years of international clinical experience with doctors from China, Russia, Europe, and the rest of the world employing it. We sat in on a meeting of several of Dr. Hamerson's clients whose animals underwent treatment. We also visited with some of his patients.
See, I got her on a Sunday from a pet store, and I took her the very next day to the vet, and he put her on antibiotics for kennel cough. The antibiotics are not doing her any good. About 3 weeks straight, I finally just took her off of all of them and said, okay, we're going to try something else. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but we're going to do that. My husband and I do all natural type of thing. And I just kept thinking, oh, I wish I could find a vet that does this type of thing. And I started reading his brochure, and I went, this is the type of thing that I do, and I found a vet that does the exact same thing. So we were so excited. So I called Dr. Emerson, and he got us in right away. And
Then we saw what happens during an actual therapy session. First, electrodes are placed on the patient's body, where a substance from the patient's body is placed in an input beaker connected to the control center.
Heavy metals, chemicals. So we're picking up some chemical frequencies in his body. It's something that we pursue with our other kits to get specific chemicals. And we can invert those frequencies and eliminate them.
Great.
Next, the patient's frequency patterns are read and modulated by the unit. Through electromagnetic resonance, the system filter identifies unhealthy pathogens and positive frequencies in the patient's system. Testing and therapy programs are run to modulate the patient's own electromagnetic information to become therapy patterns. Finally, these therapy patterns are returned to the animal through a modulation therapy mat.
The DDT that we discovered is in the input beaker. I'm doing an inversion program where all the frequencies are being inverted. And we've got information coming off of his body through the collar into the Bicom, where I've got the ampule in there, and then the therapy's coming out. So he's part of a circuit. This can take anywhere from 30 seconds to some things take 10 minutes, just depending. There you can see it's not pulling anymore. It's going up and down, so the DDT has been neutralized, and his organs will excrete it now.
If the patient cannot be treated on location, magnetic transmitter chips are produced that can be worn by the animal.
What makes this treatment so beneficial is the ability to diagnose and treat on the same day. I'm able to detect pathogens such as virus, bacteria, heavy metals, chemicals, food sensitivities, anxiety, emotions, and turn around and treat on the same day. The response is tremendous, and it's been so great that I've decided to pursue this as my sole modality in veterinary medicine.
Some of these problems are allergies, anal gland problems, arthritis, autoimmune disorders, back and joint problems, behavior disorders, diarrhea or constipation, ear problems, eye problems, gastrointestinal conditions, infection, lick granuloma, pain symptoms, urinary problems, wellness maintenance, and wound management and healing. Toxins are drawn out, healthy frequency patterns replace unhealthy ones, the body's natural immune system is reinforced, and healing begins at the root source, not at the symptom level. Pets often experience dramatic results after several treatments.
If you're interested in this therapy, contact me and I can determine if there's a practitioner in your area that is doing Bicom therapy, or if your present veterinarian is interested in the therapy, they can get a hold of me at 970-396-8559, and we can help them get the Bicom, and I can come out and instruct them on the use of it, and we can start the therapy in your area. I think it's highly beneficial, and I would encourage people to contact their veterinarians, see if they're interested in bringing that therapy to your locale. Another great thing is the cost. Contact me and we can discuss your pet situation, and I can give you a clear picture of what can be done.
Veterinarian inquiries welcome.